Shalom, Israel. First and foremost, want to give a call, Lord, to Yahweh. By Shema Mashiach Umarak Yahushua. Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father, which the world calls God. And Yahweh Shah is the name of his only begotten Son, who the world inwardly calls Jesus Christ. First and foremost, want to give a strong shalom to all the mighty men that's going out there, they're laboring. They're presenting their bodies as a living sacrifice. They're enduring the elements, the 100-degree weathers, the freezing below colds, right, and everything that's trying to hinder the work of the Most High God. Shalom. Want to give another strong shalom to all the mighty Akwath, the sisters that are at home. They're reverencing their husbands, being teachers of good things, and the unmarried sisters as well, doing all they can to make their calling and election sure and stay on fire for the Most High God. Shalom, shalom. Last but not least, want to give another strong shalom to all the mighty teenagers and children in this truth, doing all they can in the last days to make their calling and election sure. Shalom. And the topic of this cold cut is titled, Are you willing to give up anything and everything at any given time for the Lord? Right, I'm going to say it again. Are you willing to give up anything and everything at any given time for the Lord? Right, because the days that we not living in the days of prosperity no more, man. We're not living in the days of live it up time. We living in the days of death, right? Persecution, dying for the Most High God, plagues, and your mind has to be, you have to be at any given time ready to move, man. All of the, I still want to be here in Babylon and great. You still want to live it up here. You still have goals and dreams, and you still have a future, and all of that's over with, man. We living in the times of sacrifice, man. We living into the times where the Most High is proven who are his chosen. The Lord is separating from who's his chosen and who's not his chosen, man. And it's going to be made manifest as time progresses. So that's the topic of this cold cut. And that's through the spirit over the things that's been happening over the past couple of weeks. We got to be in that spirit, man. Especially, you men of the Lord, you servants of the Lord that go out on the highways and byways, and you could die at any given moment, man. You could lose it all. You could get kidnapped. So you have to be in a mindset of everything is temporary, but the Most High and spiritual things are eternal. Let's kick it off with that. All right, this is not a game, man. This is not a game. If you think it's a game, well, you're going to find out that it's not a game the hard way. Let's go to 2 Corinthians, right? Let's go to the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 4. Right, this 2 Corinthians, chapter 4, and verse number 18. 2 Corinthians 4 and 18, it says, While we look not at the things which are seen, but the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal. So everything it's a lot of things here in America that's temporary. A lot of this stuff is temporary, man. The cars, your job, right? Women, demons, even the demons that you fall victim to, that's temporary. That's not going to be happening forever. So a lot of this stuff on the earth is temporary. Everything is temporary, as they say. But it says what? But the things which are not seen are eternal. So you have to have the mindset of, guess what? The things which are seen is temporary. Everything is temporary. Even your life is temporary. Because you here today and you could be going tomorrow, man. And if you're not prepared, if you're not satisfied with your works that you have done on the earth, you're going to be caught out there. All right? No man wants to be in the truth. Let's say, God forbid, he gives up the ghost and he been slothful, man. And he hasn't been in the right spirit. He's been off. You will feel ashamed, man. The last moment you was on the earth, you was just off. You wasn't in the right spirit. You was giving your time to other things that's temporary. You was caught up in this world. So you, as a man of the Lord, you have to have a mindset. Guess what? Hey, everything is temporary. You can't get attached to this place. Right? It's a lot of brothers in the truth, and we gonna say it how it is, man. Because at this point, it's no more, let me just be humble. Or you always want to be humble, but it's no more, I want to be discreet. Guess what? We just gonna call stuff how it is. You have a lot of brothers in the truth that's still comfortable in America. The same ones that say they hate this place, right? They can't wait to get up out of here. All right. They don't want to be here. Those be the same brothers through their actions that still love this place. It be the same brothers. This really the brothers that talk the most trash to their own brothers in the truth, which is off. Slandering. But guess what? Hey, a real man, he's going to be a man of actions. Let's get that in James. We going to let our faith be shown by our works. We not trying to talk. You got to watch out for the men and women that's just all talk. Look, man, I'm not trying to talk no more. We never been talkers, but I'm not trying to talk. Let's go to James chapter 2. Right, this is James chapter 2 and I'm going to start at verse 18. Yet a man might say, thou hast faith, and I have works. Shew me thy faith without thy works, and I will show thee my faith by my works. So we going to show you our faith by our works, man. Our works is going to be manifest that we're not attached to this place, that everything is temporal. Hey, our lives could be taken from us at any given moment. And we have to be willing to give up anything and everything at any given moment. We're going to let our work show that. Again, we're not trying to talk. We tired of talking, man. Neither do we don't, for brothers that do talk, that like to talk, we don't entertain that. We already know what time it is for the man that's just all chatter. And the Lord said to talk, let me see if I can get that. All right. The lips of the man talketh only to penury. So you're going to have certain men on the earth, they going to just be saying stuff. They not even thinking, how the stuff they say, they not even thinking about what they saying. They just talking. But guess what? Through the precepts, we get the proper understanding. We have to go according to the precepts. All right? We have to go according to the precepts. Let me see what I want. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 14. Right, let's go to Proverbs chapter 14 and verse number 23. Proverbs 14 and 23. It reads, in all labor there is profit, but the talk of the lips tendeth only to penury. So, and guess what? In all labor there is profit, but the talk of the lips tendeth only to penury. You don't want to have the talk of the lips that lendeth to penury, because man is not going to respect you. Neither is the Most High God going to respect you. So again, the topic of this live stream is, are you willing to give it up all for the Most High God at any given time? Because that's the times we coming into. If you still holding on to stuff in this world, you still have stuff here that you want to be entertained by, guess what? You're not going to make it. You are not going to make it. You got to look at the examples of old. Look at all the people that was still holding on to stuff, whatever place they was residing in. They got destroyed, man. We not holding on to things of this world no more. This world is finished, man. If you haven't been seeing the persecution of the saints, and not just us, you have men everywhere that's being persecuted, different congregations. That should let you know that there's none here, that this Bible is real. That should let you know that this truth is real, man. And the reason why brothers and sisters, they still be attached to this world, because they still have a little bit of unbelief here. Because if you know for sure that it's all going to go down, all of that, you're going to cut off all of that stuff, right? All the demons you're going to cut off, the weed smoke, the women, the video games, the different distractions, your job, right? You might have a wicked woman, children, wicked husband. All of that stuff going to be cut off because you know, oh, no, this the real deal. But it shouldn't have to take for these, what it is, but this shouldn't have to take for the prophecies and stuff to really be played out on earth. Then you want to, guess what? Now it's time to get right. Guess what? Everything is in his Bible, right? Everything is in his word for you not to be attached to this place. And if you're not willing to give up anything and everything at any given moment, whether that's tomorrow, 2 weeks from now, 2 years from now, when you turn 33, when you turn 34, 50, 60, you're going to be destroyed here. Let's go to Luke chapter 17. Let's kick it off with the book of Luke chapter 17. Let's go to the book of Luke, the 17th chapter. Let's go to the book of Luke chapter 17 and verse number 32. Right? Luke 17 and 32. Remember Lot's wife. Right? I'm going to read that again. Remember Lot's wife. Whosoever shall seek to save his life shall lose it. And whosoever shall lose his life preserveth it. So the Lord told you to remember Lot's wife. Why do you have to remember Lot's wife? Hey, look what she did. We're going to go into the account. But the Lord said, whosoever shall seek to save his life shall lose it. Don't be the brother that's seeking to save his life here. It's something here you still want, and you're willing to preserve that. You're willing to preserve the truth and put the truth on a hold just because what you think you have here. But what you think you have here, that's not what you really have. It's an illusion. It's false. It feels good to the flesh, but it's not logical. Let's go to Genesis chapter 19. Let's see why the Lord said, remember Lot's wife. Let's go to Genesis chapter 19. This Genesis chapter 19 and verse number, I'm going to start at 16. Genesis 19 and 16. Now, if you don't know the account, the Lord told Lot to tell chiefly his woman and his children to get up out of Sodom and Gomorrah and get up out of there and flee, or they will be destroyed with Sodom and Gomorrah. This Genesis 19 and 16. And while he lingered, the men laid hold upon his hand, and upon the hand of his wife, and upon the hand of his 2 daughters, the Lord being merciful unto him, and brought him forth and set him without the city. And it came to pass, when they had brought them forth, that he said, escape for thy life, and look not behind thee, neither stay thou in all the plain. Escape to the mountain, lest thou be consumed. And Lot said unto them, O not so, my lord. Behold, now thy servant hath found grace in thy sight, and thou hast magnified thy mercy, which thou hast shewed unto me in saving my life. And I cannot escape to the mountain, lest some evil take me and I die. Behold, now this city is near to flee unto, and it is a little one. Let me escape thither. Is it not a little one? O my soul shall live. And he said unto him, see, I have accepted thee concerning this thing also, that I would not overthrow this city, for the which thou hast spoken. Haste thee, escape thither, for I cannot do anything till thou become thither. Therefore the name of the city was called Zoar. So the Most High told Lot to escape to this city, as well as he told him, do not look back, nor stay in the city. Read it on, verse 23. That's the point. The sun was risen upon the earth, and Lot entered into Zoar. Then the Lord rained upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Lord out of heaven, and overthrew those cities and the plain and all the inhabitants of the city, and that which grew upon the ground. But his wife looked back from behind him, and she became a pillar of salt. So all while the Lord said, don't look back, guess who looked back? Hey, Lot's wife, she looked back, man. Now, it's a lot of reasons why she possibly looked back. But what we're led to believe is, it don't say this, but through the spirit and discernment, she looked back because it was something that was still there in Sodom and Gomorrah that she didn't leave off behind. It was something that she was still attached to. Whether that she was reminiscing, that might have been her business, her memories, whatever it is not mentioned. But when it was time to escape for her life, to have her life preserved, guess what? She decided to save her life. And guess what? She lost it. Don't be like Lot's wife. Now, on another fold, when Lot's wife got turned into a pillar of salt, you don't think Lot saw that? You don't think Lot felt that? They probably was holding hands together, running. They was probably escaping together out of the city. When Lot seen that, guess what? His woman wasn't behind him no more. Did Lot turn her back around? A lot of brothers, they'll turn back around. Hold on, where's my wife at? Next thing you know, now you destroyed as well. Guess what? Lot had his head on what the Lord said, man, and his 2 daughters. Do not be like Lot's wife here in Babylon the Great, or you will die, man. God forbid you got brothers, they going to war, they're going to camp. They could possibly lose their life, but they seek to save their life. And you got a lot of brothers talking about, why didn't y'all wrap up camp that one time? And we're not wrapping up camp, man. Why didn't y'all just go somewhere else? Hey, read 1 Maccabees chapter 9 and verse 10. Let's go to that real fast. All right? And you got to be willing to lose your life for the Lord. That's another thing. It's not just materialistic things. This world, demons. You got to be willing to lose your life because, hey, at the end of the day, you don't know when you're going to lose your life. You don't know when the Lord is going to command your spirit up to the third heaven. And you must be prepared when that happens. Because if you're not prepared, guess what? You didn't do your job on the earth. The Lord said, be ready at all times. You want to be ready so you don't have to get ready. Let's go to 1 Maccabees chapter 9 and verse 10. And those brothers that's saying that, well, why didn't y'all just do this? And those are the brothers that's seeking to save their life. Let's go to 1 Maccabees chapter 9 and verse 10. Right? 1 Maccabees chapter 9 and verse number 10. Then Judas said, God forbid that I should do this thing and flee away from them. If our time be come, let us die manfully for our brethren, and let us not stain our honor. Hey, Judas said, God forbid that we should flee away and do this thing. If our time become, let us die manfully. And every brother and sister will have your time to become. Your time to become, that will be something that you're going to have to give up. Whether that's a loss of job, loss of family member, children, wives. And you're going to have to lose them demons that you attach to. You're going to have to cut them off, man. Or you're going to lose yourself. Everybody, you will have to give up something. Let's get that in Matthew chapter 16. You will have to give up something in exchange for this truth. You're not finna just come into this truth and not give up anything. What the hell do you think this is? Right? You just get in for the free ball. No. You're gonna have to give up something. And that might be your life. That might be your woman. All right? That might be some great possessions that you have. Let's go to Matthew chapter 16. Slocky, not Matthew chapter 16. Yeah, let's go to Matthew chapter 16. Right? Let's go to Matthew chapter 16 and verse number 25. Matthew chapter 16 and 25, it reads, For whosoever will save his life shall lose it, and whosoever will lose his life for my sake shall find it. For what is a man profiteth, if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Right? What's the profit if you gain the whole world, but you lose your soul? You don't know yourself. You know how many people, I was just talking to this Eve. They are lost. They don't know themselves, man. They don't know the Most High God. They don't know the truth. They're lost. You know how many people in the world that don't know themselves or have lost themselves? Reading on, it says, or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? What are you going to give up for this truth, man? What are you going to give up in exchange? Yeah, you're going to receive the truth, but you got to give up something. Hey, read Job. Hey, Job lost everything. His cattle, right? His friends was against him. You might have to give up your friends, your family, your home. Hey, you might be homeless. What are you going to give in exchange for your soul? And you could give up your life in exchange for your soul here. It says, for the Son of Man shall come in the glory of his Father with his angels, and then shall he reward every man according to his works. But guess what? You don't know your time on the earth. All right? So you want to have things. I was just talking to a brother off the phone, and the brother said he set his house in order. You don't want to wait to set. Now, chiefly in the ancient world, men would set their house in order, before they give up the ghost, before they would die. But guess what? It's time to set your house in order right now. You want to set your house in order right now, mentally, spiritually, physically, because you don't know. You don't know your time on the earth. You're just man. Let's go to Ecclesiastes. I believe that's in 2 Ezra 14, right? And 15 on down. The Lord said, set thy house in order, right? Reprove thy people. Renounce corruption, for the time is at hand. Paraphrasing. But let's go to Ecclesiastes, chapter 9. Ecclesiastes, chapter 9, and verse number 12. Right? Ecclesiastes 9 and 12. For man also knoweth not his time, as the fishes are taken in the evil net, and as the birds that are caught in a snare, so are the sons of men snared in the evil time, when it falleth suddenly upon them. So man don't know his time. Just like a fish, when a fish gets caught in the net, in that fishing hook, do you think that fish say, you know what? They woke up this morning and say, you know what? Today I'm going to be caught on a fishing net. Let me get everything in order. No. You think a bird does the same thing? They don't know. So just like the animals don't, or the sea don't know, man doesn't know either. So that's why when it about falls, man, your faith is now being tried. All right? Your faith is now being tried. And the Lord is going to see who's going to give up what man or woman is going to give up everything at a drop of a dime. Because you're going to have people, they're going to give up everything at a drop of a dime, like Abraham did, which we're going to go to. And then you're going to have men that's going to tarry, that's going to make an excuse. All right? That's going to find something. You're going to have men that's still going to hold on to this place. Let's go to Genesis chapter 12 and 1. Right? Slacky. Let's get Genesis chapter 12 and verse number 1. Right, let's go to Genesis, the 12th chapter, dealing with Abraham. And that takes high level of faith to be able to do that. That's why we tell brothers and sisters, stock up on faith now, because when all hell breaks loose, you will be caught out there, man. And the Most High is not showing mercy to everybody. You better hope the Lord has mercy. But the Lord is not showing mercy to everybody. This is Genesis chapter 12 and verse number 1. Now the Lord has said unto Abraham, get thee out of thy country, and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house, and to a land that I will shew thee. And I will make thee a great nation, and I will bless thee, and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse them that curse thee, and in thee shall all the families of the earth be blessed. So Abraham departed as the Lord had spoken unto him, and Lot went with them, and Abraham was 75 years old when he departed out of Haran. So imagine that. Imagine if the Most High told you to drop everything, go to another state right now. And a lot of brothers, they'll be confounded. Like, what? What about my job? How am I going to do that? But guess what? Abraham didn't question the Lord. How do you not know that when you get to that place, the Lord is going to have everything set up for you? That wondering where I'm going to be spirit. Abraham wasn't doing that, man. Because Abraham knew that the Lord was going to make a way. What if the Lord said, hey, drop all your demons that you've fallen victim to right now? The weed, the lust, the slothfulness, the lewdness, all right, the lying, the envyings. Drop all of that right now and put on righteousness. Hey, we all fall short. We're still man. But a lot of brothers, they won't give that up. They would still hold on to them demons. Although the Lord told them to give it up. Right? You got to be like Abraham through the Spirit. Man, I'm finna lose. I don't have no cares. Because guess what? Abraham wasn't attached to stuff that was in Ur of the Chaldees. Abraham was from Ur of the Chaldees. He wasn't attached to nothing in Ur of the Chaldees. Wasn't attached to a woman. Right? That's what Jake, a lot of times Jake, man, I can't, she just so beautiful. I just can't, it's hard for me to let her go. Hey, brother, she let you go. Didn't she? Without a shadow of it, without any thought. But you can't. So you got a lot of weak men in the truth, man. We just gonna say it how it is. All right? A lot of weak men in the truth. But the true men of the Lord, they're gonna apply the precepts. They're gonna apply what's being brought out to them. They're gonna apply this word. And they're gonna live by the word in faith. Right? It says, let me read that again. So Abraham departed as the Lord had spoken unto him, and Lot went with him, and Abraham was 75 years old when he departed out of Haran. Another reason why Abraham was able to do that like that, because he was already meditating on that beforehand. That was already in his mind. That already crossed his mind. Guess what? I'm going to have to lose something. I'm going to have to give up something. That's what you have to do now. All right, like the brother said, Abraham left all of those strange gods behind him. And during that time, you had a lot of strange gods. The god of Sumer. All right, the sun god. You had a lot of gods that was heavy during that time. It was a lot of wealth over there too. He had to give all of that up because he wasn't attached to anything. Let's go to the book of Sirach, chapter 20. All right. And a lot of men, they can't give up the food here. All right. It's sad to say it. All right. It's sad to say it, but a lot of people can't give up food. Man, I can't go hours with certain people. They can't go 2 hours. I literally tested it. I did the statistics. I tested it out. I sought out the matter. You have certain people on the earth, they cannot eat, they cannot give up food. They can't stop eating. For 2 hours, they cannot go without food. 1 hour. Certain people can't go 30 minutes without food. They have to eat something. Always. A lot of people, they gonna have a hard time detaching from this world. But you have to start now, and it starts up here through your mind. That's why the Lord said, be renewed by the transforming of your mind, that you may approve. Let's go to that real fast. I don't want to quote it. Let's go to Romans chapter 12 and 2. Then we're going to go to Sirach chapter 20 and 9. All right. Somebody put another good precept. Genesis 22 and 16. Hey, Abraham was willing to give up his son. A lot of people, they not, man. And when we talk about Abraham, man, you got to come correct. All right. He was different, man. A lot of people, they can't just do that. They can't just sacrifice their son, man. But guess what? Abraham was one that fear of God. And it's going to be made manifest over time who really fears the Most High and who doesn't. Who really loves the Lord or who doesn't. Like we said all the time, we bring out 1 John 5 and 3 all the time, man. 2 John 1 and 6. If you love God, keep your commandments. But guess what? You're gonna be tested by that precept. The same precepts that you go out, you tell Jake, hey, if you love God, you will do this, you will do that. You're gonna be held by that same commandment. It's only right. And if you faint, that means your strength was small. You wasn't really a man of the Lord in the first place. Let's go to Romans 12:2. And be transformed, be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. So you don't want to be conformed by this world. You're going to be transformed by the renewing. It's all up here. It's a mindset. Certain people's mentalities are stronger than others. Look at Kobe's mentality. It was greater than the rest of the men that was in his draft. And it showed through his actions. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Eat and drink, said he, but his heart is not with thee. That's Proverbs 23:7. It's all up here. Let's go to the book of Sirach, chapter 20. Right, let's go to the book of Sirach, the 20th chapter. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 20, and verse number 9. Sirach 20:9. There is a sinner that hath evil success and evil things, and there is a gain that is turned to loss. See that? It's a gain that's turned to a loss. Are you able to take L's, man? Are you able to take a loss? To make a sacrifice? Are you? Let's go to Philippians chapter 3. Hey, Paul said, I counted all things but loss, that I may gain Hamashiach Yahushua. You might lose a leg. Can you lose a leg for the Lord? Do you mind being paralyzed for the Most High God? Do you mind losing your sight for the Most High God? Will you still follow him after that? What if you were deaf, you couldn't speak? These things you gotta take in consideration, man. Because everything is not gonna be sweet anymore. If you have good luck, as they say, you have to expect a loss. That's the saying that they have in the world. That's a wise saying. All right, let's go to Philippians. Hey, Tobit, he was blind for 8 years, man. When you read Tobit 14:1, and he still served the Lord. For 8 years, he couldn't see. Let brothers couldn't see for 8 years. Let brothers lose their sight. It would be I already know, it would be so much complaining. Man, it would be a lot of complaining going on. But Tobit, he still feared the Most High God. Let's go to Philippians chapter 3. This is the book of Philippians chapter 3 and verse number 9. I'm going to start at verse 8. I'm going to start at verse 7. Philippians 3:7. But what things were gained to me, those I counted loss for Christ. Yea, doubtless, I count all things but loss for the excellency of the knowledge of Hamashiach Yahushua, my Lord, for whom I have suffered the loss of all things, and do count them but dung, that I may win Hamashiach. So Paul said he count all things but loss. He took a loss. All right. Brothers on fire with the precepts in the chat. Job chapter 1-21. All right. Philippians 3:13 through 14. Job said, naked. You didn't come in this world with nothing. So why is it hard to leave with something? A lot of people, they want to leave with stuff. Brother, you came into this world with nothing. Paul said, I counted all things but loss. His reputation. Paul was a Pharisee. It's reputation that come with Pharisee. It's a status that come with being a Pharisee. A doctor of the law. Persecuting the church. Having a zeal. All of that he counted but lost, that he may win Hamashiach Yahushua. Let's go to Hebrews chapter 11. Moses did the same thing. Our forefathers did the same thing. We have to move in that same spirit. That's what you have the precepts for. Let's go to the book of Hebrews. All right. And we love losing things for the Lord, man. We love giving up things. We love sacrifices. That has to be in your mindset. We love doing this thing because it's a just balance. Let's go to the book of Hebrews chapter 11. Right? Let's go to the book of Hebrews, the 11th chapter. It's the book of Hebrews chapter 11 and verse number 24. Hebrews 11 and 24. It reads, I'm going to start at verse 24. By faith, Moses, when he was come to years, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter. So like we go into all the time, it's a great status that comes with being the son of Pharaoh's daughter. Right? You're the prince of Egypt. There's a lot of women that comes with it. Money, gold. Like we was bringing out, Moses, he could have been sitting back all day having the Israelites fan him or servants fan him, feeding him grapes. Moses couldn't have never worked. He didn't have to work. Moses could have had a nice pyramid, a nice dwelling place, nothing but gold in it, wine, a good time, food, nice raiment. But what? Verse 25, choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of God than to enjoy the pleasures of a sin for a season. So although Moses could have had that, he chose rather to suffer affliction. He gave that up. And you got brothers, they come into the truth. They used to be celebrities, man. Popular in the world. Had a status. Probably had all of the women, but guess what? They gave it all up. Moses, he chose rather to suffer affliction with the people of God than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season. This world is only for a season. It's not going to be here forever. It's temporary. That TV series is temporary. That car is temporary. Money is temporary. It's not going to be here forever. But what will be here forever is this truth. Your brothers and sisters in the Lord, the Most High, the angels, Yahweh, the chariots, the commandments, the feast days, wisdom. Those are the things that's going to be here forever. So why not invest in that and cling on to that versus clinging on to stuff that's not going to be temporary? Well, that is going to be temporary. We have to count the cost. Let's go to Matthew. Let's get an account of a man that wasn't willing to give up everything. And Yahweh spoke to this man directly. Let's go to the book of Matthew, chapter 19. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 19, and verse number 16. It reads, And behold, one came and said unto him, Good master, what good thing shall I do that I may have eternal life? And on another fold, that's all of us in this truth. Lord, what do I have to do to get the kingdom? What's the truth? What's the right and good way? What's the way to get salvation? Reading on. And he said unto him, Why callest thou me good? There is none good but one, that is God. But if thou wilt enter into life, keep the commandments. He said unto him, which? Yahweh said, Thou shalt do no murder. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness. Honor thy father and thy mother, and thou shalt love the neighbor as thyself. And the young man said unto him, All these things have I kept from my youth up. What lack I? And that might be you again. You might say, well, okay, I never ate pork in the world. Never ate shrimp, crab, or lobster. You know, I always read the Bible. You know, always had a beard. It's certain things in the world that you just didn't do. You was already keeping the commandments, some of the commandments in the world. But guess what? You always have something that you lacking in. That's what this man he failed to realize. He said, what lacketh I? Like the brother said, he never laid with the heathen, never had a tattoo. You have certain people, they virgins, they never slept with anybody. Not that it's off to do that, but they never was in fornication. But guess what? Your works are never found perfect before the Most High God. And whatever that you lacking in, you will have to give that up. Reading on. Verse 22. Verse 21, Salakia. And Yahushua said unto him, if thou wilt be perfect, go and sell that thou hast, and give to the poor, and thou shalt have treasure in heaven, and come and follow me. But when the young man heard that saying, he went away sorrowful, for he had great possessions. One thing this man couldn't give up, he gave up everything else, kept the commandments. Hey, this man never murdered in his life. Always honored his father and his mother, didn't steal, loved his neighbor as himself. But guess what? He couldn't give up his riches. He couldn't give alms. That was his problem. Maybe you can't give up that demon that you're falling victim to. Maybe you're still struggling with the cares of this world. Maybe you're scared to die. Whatever it is, if the Lord say give it up, you have to do it. Yahushua told this man directly, face to face, go and sell that thou hast and give to the poor, and thou shalt have treasure in heaven, and come and follow me. But when the young man heard that saying, he went away sorrowful, for he had great possessions. Then said Yahushua unto his disciples, verily I say unto you, that a rich man shall hardly enter into the kingdom of heaven. And that's just not with riches. You could be rich with a lot of things. Rich with slothfulness, depression. All right, you could be full of it. But if you don't get that up when the Lord says it, you're going to be caught out there. You will not enter into the kingdom of heaven. And that's written. Let's go to Mark chapter 13. Let's get a couple more before we wind down. Quick exhortation. Mark chapter 13. So you have to be ready so you don't have to get ready. So if you haven't counted the cost, if you haven't set your house in order, guess what? Now it's time to do that. Right? Because you don't know what tomorrow may bring forth. Let's go to the book of Mark chapter 13. Let's go to the book of Mark, the 13th chapter. This is the book of Mark chapter 13 and verse number 33. Take ye heed, watch and pray, for ye not know when the time is. For the Son of Man is as a man taking a far journey, who left his house and gave authority to his servants, and to every man his work, and commanded the porter to watch. Watch ye therefore, for ye know not when the master of the house cometh, at evening, at midnight, or at the cock crowing, or in the morning, lest coming suddenly he find you sleeping. And what I say unto you, I say unto all, watch. So you have to watch, be prepared mentally, know what's going on, set your house in order. Let's go to that in 2nd Esdras, chapter 14. Get yourself together, get your spirit together, because you don't know when the Lord is going to pop up on you. You don't know when all hell could break loose. You don't know when you're going to have to give up things. You don't know when you're just going to have to risk it all for the Lord. Let's go to 2nd Esdras. You cannot be attached to Babylon the Great. No emotions toward this place, or else you're going to be like Lot's wife. This 2nd Esdras, chapter 14 and verse number 13. I'm going to start at verse 12. And there remaineth that which is after that half of a tenth part. Now therefore set thy house in order, and reprove thy people. Comfort such as be in trouble, and renounce corruption. Let go from thee mortal thoughts. Cast away the burdens of man. Put off now the weak nature, and set aside thoughts that are most heavy unto thee, and haste to flee from these times. For yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen shall happen, shall be done hereafter. For look how much the world shall be weaker through age. So much the more evil shall increase upon them that dwell therein. For the truth is far fled away, and leasing is hard at hand. For now hasteth the vision to come, which thou hast seen. And that's plain, man. Alright? That is plain upon tables. But with that, Lord willing, this video was edifying. Continue to read, pray, fast, study, stay on fire. Most importantly, beseech the Heavenly Father for his mercy. Alright? And be ready so you don't have to get ready. But with that, we're going to say shalom.